Hello, hello, hello there. Hope your atmospheric entry wasn't too troublesome. As a guest of honor, you deserve the best in comfort. Sublight Salvage and Shipping Underground, or Slug, as we like to call ourselves, is delighted to welcome you to Eridanos. I'm the Grand Colonial Head, Bellhop. I'm here to grab your bags and direct you, the inspector, to the Grand Ballroom, which was the scene of the crime. You were indeed. It's the penthouse suite, the best room in the whole Grand Colonial. It was actually Helen's not too long ago. Helen's death has been a shock for many. A lot of people are inconsolable. Hell, even Black Hole Birdie, Helen's beau, has wandered off. Some folks think he had something to do with the murder, but I don't believe it. Not particularly, but I think some folks were jealous of her success, or otherwise viewed her as a threat. Reckon how she came about her fame didn't help. Why, she was a natural. People fell in love with her. She managed to wrangle up a following all on her own. She ended up about as famous and high-runged as your average VP, which rubbed a lot of Byzantines the wrong way. Actors ain't supposed to get preferential treatment. I imagine the admin briefed you about Helen's part in the Spectrum Brown unveiling. Too bad about the postponement. Not so terrible as Helen's murder, but still a crying shame. You bet it was. Rizzo's rented out the ballroom in the hotel just for the launch event. Reckoned it was gonna be a real swell affair. Rizzo's ain't unveiled the product since the debut of Spectrum Ultraviolet. Invisible to the naked eye, and as it happened, prone to causing massive internal bleeding. Anyway, I think I've held you up long enough. Once you're ready, head down to the lobby. The ballroom is just behind the elevators. Meanwhile, I'll grab your bags. You're making fun, right? Your luggage, belongings, kit, wherever you keep what you ain't wearing. You're still giving me a pretty blank look. Suppose it's none of my business, but do you just wear the same set of clothes all the time? Well, reckon I can respect your candor, even if it scares me a smidge. Anyhow, I'll look for you in the Grand Ballroom later. Hope you can unravel this mystery, Inspector.
I think I must have had something in my ear.
Greetings, Inspector. No need to check in here. Your paperwork has all been processed. You should be able to find the Colonial right ahead. Oh, you're the Inspector. Welcome. Has anyone helped you with your luggage yet?
I can't believe someone so famous as Halcyon Helen could meet a fate like this.
I'll bet you 10 bits this is all just some...
The crime scene's awaiting, Inspector. Can't believe something like this could happen in my hotel. When I found her, I was just hoping she had a little too much to drink, but all the grievous bodily injury adds up, I suppose. You didn't ask! Anyway, I'm sure you've got questions. Sure, I'd taken to checking the ballroom every few hours prior to the unveiling. Just to make sure no sprats had snuck into the place. You understand. Found her right before I was set to head back to my room in the lower levels for my mandated 5-hour sleep period. Tell ya, thank the law for caffeinoid. Been too upset to get a wink of sleep since. And hey, now I can finally see smells. What? No! Just because I found the corpse doesn't mean I made her a corpse. I was in shift all day. Besides, I loved Helen serials. Well, the old ones anyway. The newer episodes are hot junk on a warm day. Beats all hell out of me. Maybe she was, practicing for the unveiling? Sure. What's on your mind? Of course I did. I just told you I found the body. Oh, wait. You mean when she was still breathing? No, of course I didn't. Plus, it's untoward for an employee to... Sorry, Inspector, they don't pay me to think. Everyone's got theories. I don't reckon mine hold much more weight than anyone else's.
If you have an issue with a hotel employee, management has requested that you speak to a security officer.
Don't mess with me!
Is valuable to die? Please, don't kill me!
I'm gonna rush him!
Mr. Kincannon really knows how to run a hotel.
Bertie Holcomb is likely beside himself in grief.
You believed Halcyon Helen's death was the worst part of all.
Put him in the dirt!
Please, don't kill me! Valuable to
I'm
die.
out! Reloading!
Please don't kill me! I'm too valuable to die! Don't
I'm
hurry,
gonna
no!
get in their face! Please! I don't want to die!
Thought I'd just roll over and die? Gotta get down!
Hello there. Hope your atmospheric and sublight I'm the Grand Colonial Head Bellhop. I'm here to grab your bags and direct you, the inspector, to the Helen's hell, even Black Hole Birdie, Helen's beau, has wandered off. Some folks, not particularly, but I think some folks were jealous of her success. Why, she and I imagine the admin briefed you about Helen's part in the Spectrum Brown unveiling. Rizzo's ain't unveiled. Anyway, I think I've held you up. You're making fun, right? You're still giving me a pretty blank look. Suppose it's... well, reckon... Anyhow...
I think I must have had something in my...
Greetings, Inspector.
I can't believe someone so famous as Halcyon...
The crime scene's awaiting, Inspector. Can't believe something like this. Anyway, I'm sure you've got questions. Founder, tell ya. What? I wasn't shift all day. Beats all. Sure? What's on? Of course. No, of course I didn't. Sorry, Inspector, they don't pay me to. Everyone's got theories.
Black hole birdies disappeared.
Oh, thank the law. Inspector, you don't know how relieved I am to see you. Our dossier mentioned you had problems committing to a job. In accordance with Rizzo's company policy, I am required to give you this motivational message. I believe you will find that assisting your local Rizzo's security department is even more thrilling than the sweet, smooth flavor of Rizzo's Spectrum vodka.
Dr. Goodnight, ecstatic to make your various acquaintances and so on. Are we finished with the pleasantries? There's something I'm excited to show you. Are you talking about that program? What was it called? Perspiring your way to productivity? No, what I have is much more invigorating.
Our coroner has developed a device which may prove useful in your investigation. Our office has instructed her to hand it over to you.
Our office has instructed her to hand it over to you. Oh, please. You make it sound as if I'm turning over stolen goods. Behold, my discrepancy amplifier. Hold it in your hands. Feel the... I'm so glad you asked. Allow me to explain. The discrepancy amplifier uses a deterministic model of our universe to detect the discrepancy between what should be and what actually is. Then it renders any discrepancies visible by using the power of magnification. Yes, it's a magnifying glass, but an extraordinarily powerful one. It looks through the glass of reality itself.
I'm contractually prohibited from endorsing off-brand technology, but I'll bend that rule just this once. You'll want to peer into the amplifier and examine the crime scene.
The discrepancy. This unit has detected a discrepancy related to Halcyon Helen. Unscheduled expiration of. Begin amplification. The discrepancy amplifier has been programmed with advanced speech recognition, scientific analysis, and deterministic calculus protocols.
Oh, you'll love this. Amplifier, tell the inspector about your features.
Please do not interrupt the discrepancy amplifier. The discrepancy amplifier is programmed to take instruction from its registered or designated inspector.
How curious. I must have set its impertinence levels to flagrant.
This unit's features include an automated personality simulator. This unit has been programmed to simulate joy and satisfaction in assisting you. This footprint stands out from the normally spotless floor of the grand ballroom. Typically, the ballroom is cleaned twice daily, which means this must have been made by either Helen or her assailant or assailants. Footprint is a tailor-made 8.75, suggesting that its owner was very particular about their shoe size. It is also the exact size that Halcyon Helen typically prefers. There are traces of dirt throughout the footprint. Excellent observation, Inspector. The following compounds have been detected: purpleberry residue, nitrogen-rich fertilizer, common grass, grass fertilizer, and purpleberries can all be found in the Purpleberry Orchards, located not far from the Grand Colonio. This deduction appears sound.
Good work, Inspector. I had a feeling we'd make some progress once we brought you onto the case. You'll need Administrator Ludovico to grant you access to the orchards. Contact him through the secure access terminal in your penthouse suite. Check in with the concierge. Your room should be ready by now. If it isn't, I may have to go shake someone by the collar.
I knew I should have gotten her autograph.
I'm sorry, sir, but while the hotel is an active crime scene, I regret to inform you that all new bookings, room upgrades, room downgrades, and in-room massages are Oh, you're the special inspector. Mr. Kincannon warned me you'd be checking in soon. Ah, yes. We are most pleased to offer you our grandest of grand accommodations, Inspector. The penthouse suite on our topmost floor is now available for you. The last guest left her belongings behind when she vacated unexpectedly, so we needed a little time to tidy the suite up for you. Simply call the elevator in the lobby, and our highly skilled operator will deliver you to your private floor with efficiency and cheer. It certainly is a marvel of modern ingenuity, luxury, and ambition. Please allow me to answer any curiosities you might have about our building and the amenities on offer. Twice the size of the next biggest room, and kitted out with any amenity you want, as well as many that you won't. Best to enjoy it while you can, Inspector. Typically, the only people who can afford the penthouse suite have enough bits to suffocate everyone on Terra 2. Also, please inform me if Woolridge gives you a hard time about getting a better room than his. Don't tell him I said this, but everyone on staff wants to strangle him. Most certainly. All the important folks can be found in the utmost parts of the hotel. You can hardly walk 3 feet without bumping into a tossball grate or a bored exec. Though maybe don't bump into them. Could be harmful to your health. Who would be interested in a staff-only area? Most folks never ask about the sewers beneath Rizzo's plant, either. Of interest to your investigation? Well, I suppose there is that one door we're not supposed to open. But I'm sorry, Inspector, I'm not authorized to grant you access to any staff sections of the hotel. You'll have to find a way in on your own. If you're sure. My apologies, Inspector, but that would be a severe violation of guest privacy. We here at the Grand Colonial firmly believe that... All right, my supervisor just walked out of earshot. Some folks just don't understand the importance of gossip. About whom? And what would you wish to know? You know, out of everyone here, I probably knew the least about Helen. I'm not much of an Aetherwave watcher myself. And Helen always had a crowd of admirers chasing her, you see, so she rarely stopped to chat. Friendly enough, surely, but always seemed untouchable. Everyone wanted to be around Helen. She could usually be seen alongside Bertie or Woolrich, for obvious reasons. You know, out of everyone here, I probably knew the least about Helen. I'm not much of a... And... Now that you mention it, she was usually calm and collected, but every so often I'd see her looking all wild-eyed and intense. It seemed as if she was determined about something. Or maybe she was just hungry? That woman ordered a lot of food. Maybe show business gives you a faster metabolism. Ah, Bertie. Is he bigger than he is dumb, or dumber than he is big? I've a bet with a friend. Not sure we'll ever get it to pay out. Bertie used to be Helen's beau, though he isn't anymore, and not just because she's dead. If I had 1,000,000 bits, I'd spend every one just to learn what caused their split. If looks could kill, he'd have put her in the ground 10 times over. Man's clearly jealous of her success compared to his. See, I'd bet we're the only two people thinking about him in all of Eridanos. And I only am because you mentioned his name. If you leave woolly cow milk out, it turns to curds. Leave the curds out, they begin to get stale, then rot. Woolridge is on his way to the trash bin, and everyone knows it. Either he's in denial, or he knew Helen would be checking out soon, judging by his increasing demands for a room upgrade. That's a shame, Inspector. What if I wanted to know a little about you? A dashing gunslinger type, then. I'm sure the investigation will turn out splendidly in your hands. Or at least Mr. Kincannon seems confident enough to believe so.
We should try to solve the puzzle hedges in the orchards. The prizes.
Hello there, my inordinately esteemed guest. If my hello were any more earnest, this loudspeaker would explode. What authorized floor can I bring you to? Oh, so sorry, but you're not actually authorized to visit that floor. Next up, the finest seat in the house.
I'm gonna nick a few towels. They won't notice.
Sam's Special Inspector add-on includes a magnifying glass to sleuth out the germs and parasites that other cleaning products leave behind.
Everything's so soft and silky and expensive. Oh gosh, I hope I don't get any grease stains on the furniture.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. The inference...
Helen, where did we go wrong? Oh, Lo, I'm so sorry. That didn't mean for... Helen, I love you. I love you so much.
Is this how people in Byzantium live all the time?
Eridanos is a technological marvel, and they use it as a tourist destination to sell sweets and alcohol. I sometimes find myself musing on who I used to think I was. It seems ridiculous in hindsight, but without my obsession, I never would have reached this point.
Even the air in here feels too sweet. Almost sticky.
Inspector, I understand you've visited the scene of the crime. Halcyon Helen was an important cultural icon. She will be sorely missed. I will be plain with you. I'd prefer not having to hire you at all. This matter should be resolved by Rizzo's security. But Cedric owns the land complexes, so we have a jurisdiction problem. Constable Keene encouraged us to hire a third-party freelancer. Right now, you're the best chance we have at resolving this incident and getting on with our affairs. I see. Well, I appreciate your candor. Yes, let's go with that. Back to the matter at hand. Tell me about your investigation. Your discretion is appreciated. I admit, I'm beginning to feel more confident in this arrangement. Here, I'm granting you access through the gates to the orchards. You're officially authorized to see this investigation through to the end. There is one caveat. Cedric's being rather intransigent about letting you into the spaceport. Possibly he's trying to hide something. Possibly he wants to annoy me. Possibly both. You have a lead to chase. Law speed, Inspector.
Hi there, Inspector. It might be a little beyond my job description to ask, but at my heart, I'm still a bellhop. Was the suite to your liking? Good. I'm glad. Now, I'd love to bring you to a floor of your choosing.
Excuse me. The pool plaza is currently closed to guests. Oh, you're that inspector. Right. Sorry, but the pool's currently closed on account of it stinking worse than my boss. What can I do for you? Space me if I knew. I got here for my shift this morning and found it this way. They can't yell at me for this one, which is good, because a lot of folks seem upset by it. Gee, you're pretty sharp. Yeah, the reception party would have extended out here, but we had to close it off. What with the contamination. And now the reception ain't happening anyway. Can't do much now but wait for the stench to wear off. We found the individual hired to clean face down in a puddle of his own spit in the orchards. Guess he won't be helping. Alright. You may want to visit the Sun Parlor. That's where that Rizzo's fool mixed the chemicals he used. Oh, and you could talk to Lily, my boss. She probably has some great advice. I saw her walk toward the bridge to the Purpleberry Orchards earlier. Reckon she's still there. Now, anything else I can do for you? So long as you don't want to go in, I can answer anything you like. Yeah, it's part of the job. I think I'm listed as a security consultant. But all that really means is that if I'm caught without this thing, I get put on pool guard duty. I don't know what happens if I'm caught without it on pool guard duty, but I know that I don't want to find out. Yep, still dead. Usually Rizzo's is pretty good at making sure the people they hire ain't got Tripicale for brains, but that fella clearly wasn't worth trusting. I met him briefly once. Seemed level-headed enough, but that must... Sounds good to me.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Analysis reveals the chemical signature of this compound is 80% semblant of fertilizer used in the Purpleberry Orchards. The other 20% is semblant of pool water.
Please don't kill me. Just leave me be.
I saw you meander on out of the pool and into the greenhouse. Now you're here. Does that mean what I think it means? Might mean that you can be trusted. Might not. Guess we'll see. More than a handful of bits. Maybe not. Maybe I just want Rizzo's working relationship with Slug to implode for the benefit of Spacer's Choice. But you're right. It ain't high profile. And it ain't gotta be. Any damage to Rizzo's is cause for celebration. You ain't gotta concern yourself with my spite. Consider me an average Byzantine, and I'll consider you an average contractor. That's great to hear. Or grand, as the Byzantines are so fond of saying. Not that I ain't one. There's a chemical mixing machine in the greenhouse that has more than a few volatile chemicals. Mix them and render that pool unusable. Anything that ain't a cleaner should do. Dump the mix into the pool, then find somebody in Slug and tell them you did it for Rizzo's. That'll get those damn bastards into some red water. Dandy. Come on back once you've done your deed.
Hi again. It's like I just saw you. Pool's still closed, unfortunately. All sounds right by me. It'll be nice to actually have guests to guard. Sinuses that work. Sorry, did you...
Pool's nothing but an acrid mess of concrete, I hear. Hope I'll hear the sound of Rizzo's heads hitting the floor next. Glad you got something out of it. All I ever feel is a dull ache in my chest. Here's your pay. Spacer's Choice thanks you for your contributions to future profits.
but we're in the middle of a lockdown. No one's supposed to... And when I can't get a hold of anyone in the orchards, I can't make sure of that, can I? Swear to the architect, Matthias, if you've lost your rifle's ionization coil again. Oh, wait, you ain't part of my crew. What do you want? Tightly wound? Tightly wound? Damn right, I'm fine. I'm going to my calm place, where there's peace and quiet, and none of my sprat fucking subordinates can bother me. On behalf of Slug, I'd like to apologize for that outburst, as well as all of my future outbursts. Yes, I'm a little wound up. You would be too. Between the landing pad, lockdowns, gate closures, and constant questions from angry guests, I've got a lot on my plate. And if that don't beat all, one of my crew is AWOL. I wish. Matthias is about as useful as a manta queen in a saltuna cannery. Wouldn't give a damn if he were lost. Frankly, he'd be doing me a favor. If you're serious, I'd appreciate the help. He's been missing a few days, and we're low on staff as it is. The missing crew member's Evan O'Connell. He's one of about 2 Slug agents I can trust with more complex tasks than stand here and look tough. Friendly type. Well-behaved, followed orders. Anyone else, I'd think they got drunk and fell asleep in a ditch somewhere, but O'Connell's not really the type. He was last stationed at the Wilderness checkpoint. I'd search there first.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. The garb on this security guard identifies him as a member of the Rizzo's Corporation. His rank would have been that of Jawbreaker or higher. This security guard has experienced premature expiration. Evidence strongly suggests a conflict with Marauders. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
Hey, Crew C. It's Amelia. Evan must have gotten into the Spectrum in these crates. Listen to this.
Come out! Come out to play!
Law, he's having a grand old time. I'm gonna take him to A2 under the hotel so he can sleep it off. I'll meet you back at the orchard straight after. See you soon. Evan, come on, you slackwit.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. This card also expired prematurely, following a violent encounter with marauders.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! It's Rizzo's! Welcome to the Purpleberry Nut Hut, you wonderful, wonderful customer! Thank you for giving my humble existence value. Oh, that? I call it my little passenger. I don't know why. The name just appeared in my head when this thing showed up on my neck. Don't you dare! Or I'll cut something off you! Gosh, I'm sorry. I don't know where that came from. I just felt this urge to protect my little passenger, even if it means hurting you. I don't know. It just appeared one day. I guess I just picked it up while working in the orchards. Sometimes I wonder how it showed up, and I start to worry. But worrying feels bad, and I hate feeling bad. So I don't worry about it. Couple of days. Ever since it showed up, I've been feeling happier and happier. I really can't imagine life without my little passenger. Now I'd love to get you something. Maybe a couple somethings? Whatever you like, I can sell it to you at a low, low price. I'm so glad you asked. The orchards are my third favorite subject, with my first being Rizzo's refreshing drinks and my second being Rizzo's toothsome confectionaries. Our orchards are the source of 63% of Rizzo's total produce, which correlates to 112% of fresh goods throughout all of Halcyon. Give or take a few percent, of course. If you want to know more about each part of the orchards, might I recommend one of our Oh, I'm so glad you said that. Our tours are my fourth favorite subject. Every part of the Orchards is so rich with Rizzo's lore. Buy a tour ticket and anoint yourself with knowledge. We have 3 tour options: Premium, Premium Plus, and the Golden Ticket. Each option is wonderful in its own special way. Premium includes a 10-minute pass to the Sprat Petting Zoo. Premium Plus comes with a novelty Purpleberry and Amber, and the Golden Ticket is audio-guided in addition to being self-guided. Huh? Oh no, Rizzo's doesn't make me recommend the tour. Helping customers just makes me even happier than I already am, and that's saying a lot. Happy workers lead to happy customers. Happy customers are repeat customers. Now, I'd be pleased as punch to sell you a tour ticket. Which kind would you like? You're in luck. We have 1 left. Normally there are... That's great. Thank you so much. Our alcohol stocks are larger than ever. And a good thing, too, because I just can't seem to stop myself from getting into them. Our products are just that good.
Maybe I could hold up my end if your people weren't sabotaging my operations. And if sabotaging the orchards weren't enough, you had to make it personal. You really had to bust my Insta coffee maker too? The nerve.
Hold that asinine thought. Who is this armed stranger who just wandered into your office? Back up for a fight you can't finish?
What the hell are you talking about? I don't know this fella. I think it's mightily more likely that he's under your payroll. Here to burn down what you haven't already.
I see. Just a visitor, then. Congratulations, Hathaway. Not everyone's abandoned your orchards.
Well, shame that you're trying to change that. Anyway, sorry for the heated reception, stranger. There's just been some trouble here of late. Name's Overseeing Orchardist Hathaway, and I'm in charge of these orchards. Though it seems like certain groups, which will remain unnamed, are trying to change that. Looks like I'm stuck playing the part of customer service rep. Guess it's different from the usual, at least. Something I can do for you? Yeah, just another woe to add to the pile. In the past, the orchard subcontracted security work from Slug. You know, keep the malcontents on staff from causing too much trouble. But between the Spectrum Brown unveiling demanding all of our resources and the recent uptick in worker accidents, we just ain't got the budget for security. And, of course, Slug has decided that instead of being reasonable, they're just gonna sabotage our operations until we start paying them again.
Look at the poor Rizzo's manager, lying about Sublight to make himself feel better. Shame he skipped where Rizzo's were short on our payments months before the new unveiling.
Look, at the end of the day, it's obvious that Slug is sabotaging us. I ain't paying until they come clean. Thank the law, some good news. You hear that, lapdog? Truth's coming. Better fess up while you still can outside of an interrogation room.
While I'm sure you'd love to have a scapegoat on whom you can pin your own incompetence, I suspect you'll be disappointed. But what do I know? I suppose it's up to your new hiree.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. These footprints match the shoes previously analyzed in the Grand Ballroom. There is a 110% chance with a 10% margin of error that they were left by Ruth Bellamy, the actress known as Halcyon Helen.
Weather calls for a harvest, I do believe. Well, sweet hello there, valued visitor. I am sure sorry to break it to you, but our orchards are closed to all officially guided tours at this precise moment in time. Rizzo's does beseech you to please purchase one of our self-guided options if you're wishing to join one of our rejuvenative, relaxing, reformatory tours. Now with a Puzzle Hedges trademark maze hunt and special edition taste testing for an extra 35 bits a ticket. An excellent decision you most certainly won't have cause to regret. Now, presently, you're standing smack dab in the pride and joy of Rizzo's nearly natural product development sector. We call this fecund landscape the Purpleberry Orchards, since that's our main crop. But we also sow and grow mock apples, nanners, pea-free nuts, tarmac, and more. Of course, tours of any excess level must be suspended during a scheduled pollinization cycle. Our waspitos are quite territorial and have been known to sting both workers and visitors alike. Yes, indeedy. I've got the wondrous honor of having just been promoted to third keeper of the grounds after the last one disappeared on the job. Gosh, I guess about a week ago now. Before my morning clock-in last Sunday, I was but a lowly nanner peeler picker on the line shift. Now I'm responsible for growing every twig and berry on this vast swath of fertile land. Heaven sweet, no. It's not like he was murdered. He simply disappeared without a trace and hasn't been heard from since. And the groundkeeper before that one? Well, she wasn't missing at all. Her body was found near hive control, covered head to toe in thousands of welts. No mystery, and certainly no murder with what happened there. I mean, you can't exactly hold some waspitos on trial. Accidents do happen on the job. Can't speak for others, but I most assuredly don't. I reckon you could talk to my supervisor, the overseeing orchardist. He would know more. I used to ask questions, but gee, I just don't feel the urge to anymore. Pollinization by killer waspitos, indeedy. It's cutting-edge Rizzo's technology. But don't you worry, valued visitor. Our pollinization cycles only run when the orchards are empty, for safety reasons. When a pollinization cycle finishes or is aborted, all waspitos are biologically programmed to return to the hive, their holding pen. Of course, the very last thing Rizzos would want is a beloved tourist bumbling into the hive and triggering an unscheduled cycle. So you'd best steer clear of it for safety. You'll know the hive by its big, glimmering electric fencing. Gosh and goody gumdrops, but I could talk about the orchards till my lips fell off. Why, you say that as if it's a bad thing. I am quite overcome with happiness, indeed. You won't find a Rizzo's worker in all of Eridanos who isn't 100% thrilled in their day-to-day existence. It's part of our brand manifesto. I am so glad you agree. At Rizzo's, we encourage our employees to view customers in the same way they would a board-approved social acquaintance. Which means it is my pleasure to spend time with you even when I am not being paid to do so. Isn't that nice? I certainly think so. And you know what never fails to bring a smile to my face? The breathtaking tours we offer throughout the orchards. Seasonally available for purchase in the Nut Hut. What kind of investigation? You wouldn't happen to be from the Health Inspection Office, would you? For sure there is. The Health and Safety Bureau is board-run and certified. So in Eridanos, all inspectors effectively work for Rizzo's. Well, and other representative member corporations of the board. It turns out, the other board corps get a hearty chuckle out of harassing Rizzo's with regular safety checks. It's really not fair if you think about it. Just because we own less shares on the board than the others doesn't mean we should have to deal with health and safety inspections when the others don't. Oh, drat. This distresses me, and I do not like feeling cross. But I do have a few bits on me. Mayhaps this amount will put a smile on your face. I warned the orchardist this could happen when we halted our monthly bribe to Slug. They were always a reliable go-between, regarding inspections before now. So, what might you be looking to find out, Mr. Inspector? Did he now? That sounds about right. He has been mightily outspoken in his disdain for Slug in recent months. The overseeing orchardist had the last groundskeeper deliver a contract termination in the place of our regular payment. Rizzo's decided we don't need their services anymore. See, with our new morale-boosting medical treatments, our employees are much more productive. No need for unsightly intimidation tactics. Sorry, I'm not at liberty to say. Trade secrets and all that. You understand, I'm sure. Well, you are in luck. She passed right by here the other day. I thought she'd hired a private tour at first, but it was Dr. Blossom who was showing her the way to the RR and DD labs. Can't imagine why she'd need to meet with our head researcher on the Spectrum product line outside of her lab hours. That's right, she was. She sure made for some lovely adverts. Maybe it might have involved an issue with the launch batch then? I can't rightly say. All I know is one of our certified tour guides could have given her a much more comprehensive tour of the grounds were that her interest. Can't say that I have. We use bad batches of liquor for our pesticides. Only the exterminator mechanicals are armed around here. And I haven't seen any bloody objects aside from the usual pair of gardening shears. Unless, that is, Miss Helen was also stung to death by pollinization mosquitoes. She wasn't, was she? That would be a mighty wretched way to go. Pollinization by killer mosquitoes, indeedy. It's cutting-edge Rizzo's technology. But don't you worry, valued visitor. Our pollinization cycles only run when the orchards are empty, for safety reasons. When a pollinization cycle finishes or is aborted, all mosquitoes are biologically programmed to return to the hive, their holding pen. Of course, the very last thing Rizzo's would want is a beloved tourist bumbling into the hive and triggering an unscheduled cycle, so you'd best steer clear of it for safety. Of course. I can't stop you from poking around, but do be mindful of our pollinization hive. Mosquitoes tend towards aggressive at the best of times. There's a reason why we keep him behind an electric fence, you know.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Congratulations, Inspector. You've discovered more footprints belonging to the deceased actress known as Halcyon Helen.
Smile, damn you! Trying to infect me with your... I just wanted to make you smile! Oh yeah, that's funny. I just wanted to make you smile!
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Congratulations, Inspector. You've discovered more footprints belonging to the deceased actress known as Halcyon Helen. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. You've discovered more footprints belonging to the deceased actress known as Halcyon Helen. Congratulations, Inspector. You've discovered more footprints belonging to the deceased actress known as Halcyon Helen. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Congratulations, Inspector. You've discovered more footprints belonging to the deceased actress known as Halcyon Helen. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Congratulations, Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. You've discovered more footprints belonging to the deceased actress known as Halcyon Helen.
Hey, what are you doing in here? Are you authorized to be in the conservatory? Are you trying to give me a heart attack? Are you my ex-wife? No, she fell off the side of Eridanos under mysterious circumstances 6 years ago, conveniently rendering our marriage contract null. You must be the new, groundskeeper? That can't be it either, seeing how the new one hasn't died yet. Just who are you? Very funny. If you were Edna, you would have stabbed me in the throat halfway through the second word of my first question. Though you do smell a bit like her, like blood and starship grease. You must be that freelance inspector. Well, I suppose you can poke around as you like. Bleeding hell. Standing up like this makes a body forget how stiff he gets bent over. Indeed. Tromped in and out of the conservatory with no heed for anyone else. Good thing none of my charges were damaged. Starlet or not, I would have had a harsh word for her. I heard she pushed her way into a tour of the RR&DD labs not soon after. She's just a serial actress. Yet she acts like she's deserved of the same access as a co-CEO. Well, she's not going anywhere ever again. Which is a shame, of course. Taken too soon and all. I sit inside and I look at plants. Goal is usually to make Rizzo's fruit products hardier and sweeter, but for every success, there are a couple of hundred failures. Example, tried breeding native Tripicale with a foreign strain. Would have called it Hexticale. In the end, it bred so fast, workers were swallowed up before they could harvest it. That one, I think, can be attributed to the Waspitos. Some lament their irritability, but their productivity is unmatched. What's you say angry? I say efficient. Not only can our Waspitos defend themselves, but Rizzo's investments as well. They come through the orchards only during pollination cycles, as dictated by our hive control operators, which means that visitors usually aren't on the receiving ends of their stingers. Waspitos only pose a danger to enemies of Rizzo's and the occasional clumsy worker. Those risks are well worth it when you consider their value as a self-protecting investment. Besides, they aren't as dangerous as they seem, unless you're caught outside during a pollination cycle. Then you'll probably get stung to death. Even then, the hive control emergency...
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Congratulations, Inspector. You've discovered more footprints belonging to the deceased actress known as Halcyon Helen. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. You've discovered more footprints belonging to the deceased actress known as Halcyon Helen. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Congratulations, Inspector. You've discovered more footprints belonging to the deceased actress known as Halcyon Helen. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby.
What could that have been? I just want to be your friend!
You, happiness! Oh, God! Don't let I just want to be your friend! I just want to be your friend!
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Congratulations, Inspector. You've discovered more footprints belonging to the deceased actress known as Halcyon. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Timeline. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Bits of wicker detected, embedded within the chunks of dark matter. Wicker is not a known ingredient of the dark matter product. The only members of a tossball team strong enough to crack a stick in two are the dedicated hackers, like Black Hole Birdie. Whatever Ms. Ruth Bellamy must have relayed to the tossball hacker during their picnic together instigated a furious increase in his usual strength threshold by 52%.
Wanted to make you smile!
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Analysis. This discarded canister is typical of the R-mounted storage tanks on the Orchard's agricultural mechanicals. However, it is not currently attached to a mechanical. This canister contains a high amount of vinegar in addition to water. Warning. Use of vinegar, a known herbicide, on purpleberry saplings is a violation of Rizzo's agricultural standards. These canisters can typically be found in the nursery storage building in the purpleberry orchards, except for this one, which can be found here. Chemical makeup of substance, 50 water, 50% vinegar. Trace amounts of woolly cow feces also detected. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. This console is 95% non-functional. Remaining 5% functionality stems from display reading console non-functional. Cause of shortout is most likely related to purple residue splattered all across the keyboard. Substance contains trace amounts of purple berries, fruit flavors, and artificial sweeteners number 35. Number
You're back, I see. Glad Slug hasn't managed to scare you off.
I think it's more of a wonder that nothing in these law-forsaken orchards has managed to kill them.
How's the investigation going? You got a complete report for me yet? All right, let's hear the details. A drink? I ain't never heard of no saboteur dumping drinks all over equipment to destroy it. I hate to say it, but that sounds more like worker carelessness.
How many times do I have to tell you this, old man? Slug isn't behind your problems. Slug wouldn't even need to cause you problems. Your own workers do enough.
Ha! Knew Slug was behind the damn sabotage.
Please. We're subtle, but that's too subtle. If we wanted to destroy your saplings, you'd have known them by the blackened remnants of their stems, not some half-assed poisoning.
I see you left a few of them intact, even. Smashed more than I'd like, but I guess I'm glad you didn't obliterate them all.
Never did like leaving a job half-finished myself, but that's me.
So what were the fine details of the sabotage anyhow? Were Slug's lackeys trying to get the mechanicals to kill all our waspitos? Of course. And what better way to do that than by targeting our pollinizers? It'd be a hell of a pain to kill manually, but if you set the mechanicals to do it...
In your delusional fantasy, the waspitos wouldn't be out until next pollinization cycle. Wouldn't someone notice the rampant mechanicals beforehand?
That seems like a question you should be asking yourself. Well, yes, it's possible to manually start and end cycles in Hive Control, but we keep a careful watch on it, and there have been no non-Rizzo's personnel in or out.
Stop wasting everyone's time, Hathaway. What you're proposing is infinitely less likely than an idiot maneuver by one of your incompetent workers. I won't hear any further slander. Let's go through this one final time so even you can't confuse it, Hathaway. Slug didn't do a damn thing to your orchards. You're chasing ghosts.
Talk about ghosts all you like, but someone was screwing with my orchards. If it wasn't Slug, then who the hell was it? You're a professional inspector, and all you've got to say is no idea? Laws. Well, what's done is done, I guess. Right now, we of the orchards have to settle things with Slug. I reckon that you're about as impartial a third party as we're gonna get. Can you mediate?
Ah, what the hell. The orchardist seems to get off on complicating what should be a simple deal, but at this point, I just want to be paid and go. The pollen in the air is agitating. I knew you wouldn't let us down. Thank you very much, Inspector.
What? We still have to pay them? I know the admin, buddy, and he could... No. No, this all would reflect bad on me. I'll get you your dirty money. Bastards.
Rizzo's Purple Berry Budge, a salt flour candy shop around a sweet purple berry flavored center. Suck it, chew it, you can do it.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. An industrial-grade laxative has been added to the liquor in these bottles.
Why, hello there! Goodness, I always enjoy seeing guests, but it's been so long since I've chatted face to face that I about hopped out of my skin at the sight of you. Excuse me, I should introduce myself, though you might know me already, just not by name. I'm Bellhop Sullivan. You've likely heard my dulcet tones through the elevator intercom. Oh, that's so nice of you to say. I'm glad to meet you too. Now that our introductions are out of the way, do let me know if I can help you with anything. Well, yes, but having an operator certifies that the right guests end up on the proper floors. We wouldn't want tossball players rubbing shoulders with CEOs. It'd be anarchy. Plus, there's always the risk a guest chips a nail or loses a ring on a button. It's an extra effort, but the Grand Colonial prides itself on personalized service in all things. That and the elevator still works if I'm ever not around. I do take occasional breaks and sleep every so often. Oh yes, Norville's great. Always ready to help any and all guests who might need it. And so handsome, too. His judgment sometimes leaves something to be desired, I will say. Kept badgering Halcyon Helen prior to her death about an autograph or something. A little beyond his station. Unfortunately not. I was in the operator room for the elevator, as usual. The camera feed only allows me to see within the elevator, which always has many people coming through. For what it's worth, the murder was a right shame. I always enjoyed the serials starring Ms. Helen, though I did find them prone to repetitive plot structures. But I'm sure you've heard the rumor about what actually did her in. That marauders got into the hotel and management is covering it up so the guests don't run off? Well, not necessarily, but they're fairly prevalent on the other complexes. It wouldn't take much for them to find their way here. Slug claims they've got the problem under control, but I don't understand why they haven't simply gone and exterminated all of the marauders like the vermin they are. Oh, well, I'm just here.
The Grand Colonial Front Desk warmly welcomes you, Inspector. It's a pleasure to see you again. How may I be of assistance to you, Inspector?
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Analysis of this stovetop reveals an alarming degree of grease buildup, approximating proximity to volatile gases and chemicals. Chances of an explosive combustion upon next use currently at 92.9%. Searching slug work logs. No work log found. Creating conjecture. Slug has likely not fixed this issue due to a lack of responsibility on the part of their employees. Most corporations have regular cleaning procedures to prevent damage to company property. Slug, already unlike most corporations in a variety of ways, does not. That or the employees tasked with inspecting are shirking their duties. For shame. Performing scan. Gaslight appears to have gone out some time ago. Chance of explosive combustion without gaslight, 0.01%.
Terribly sorry, but I can't chat just now. Someone on the second VIP level just ordered. I understand your devotion to your job. Really, I do. And I hope you'll understand mine. Things might change if you had something very particular to talk to me about, but I'm afraid I'm just too busy to talk right now. I'd be delighted to chat with you later. I'm so behind. I'm sorry, I still can't talk idly right now. Come back if you have something very important you need to discuss.
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. This is a bottle of unreleased Rizzo's product. Helen appears to have attempted to use it to spell something as she expired, but all she managed was a sticky bee. Rizzo's Spectrum Brown has not yet been released for consumption. Spectrum Brown was scheduled to be unveiled at the Eridanos Atmosphere Complex in partnership with Halcyon Helen. Now calculating likelihood of Halcyon Helen using her final moments to endorse Rizzo's Spectrum Brown. Low to moderate likelihood. Correct. Bertie Blackhole Holcomb is a registered guest at the Grand Colonial Hotel. Accessing guest database B. The Grand Colonial Hotel is proud to serve the following VIPs. Bertie, Black Hole. Burbage 3001. This evidence has been recorded for later reference. Now generating pre-approved compliment. Splendid work, Inspector.
Are you enjoying the amenities? Something... You, hear about the murder?
How the...
Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Inspector, I've detected a structural anomaly within a 0.8 meter radius of this locked door. This floor panel is 0.3 millimeters shorter than regulation length, suggesting unauthorized modification. Timeline discrepancy detected nearby. Analysis confirms this is Evan O'Connell. Analysis also confirms he is dead. Per additional study of this body's skeletal structure, the cause of death was head trauma. That is correct. Evan was not killed by Iridanium gigaseus. However, Iridanium gigaseus do appear to be responsible for the early decomposition of this body's surface tissue. Further analysis indicates Evan's fatal injuries were sustained from blunt force trauma to the back of the skull, and his head collided with the ground. Respiratory analysis concludes Evan was not intoxicated at time of death. There are traces of blood on Evan's hands, Inspector. Analysis concludes this blood is human, type A. Medical records indicate Evan O'Connell's blood is type O. It is highly likely the blood is the result of an altercation. If you wish to question Amelia Stillwell, Slug's scheduling records indicate that she is presently on duty at the Pilot House checkpoint.
I was a few minutes late with room service earlier today. Guessed I was trying to serve shot at.
Get anything good for...
Inspector, you find my missing man? Shit, that's fucking inconvenient. What happened? Well, shit. I'm listening. What do you mean? That doesn't mean much, Inspector. You'd be amazed at how much of each other's blood these idiots get on each other. It's disgusting. Without proof, I have to consider Evan's death an accident. Because frankly, I don't have time to consider it anything else. Thanks for chasing Evan down and saving me some legwork. Of course, now I gotta figure out who the fuck's replacing Evan. A new day, a new pain in my ass. Inspector?